Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are passionate about helping people with business and accounting. In today's video, I am going to break down the PPP application specifically for first-time borrowers. So if you're interested, keep on watching. So I just finished recording the walkthrough of the PPP application for second draw. So if you've already received a PPP loan, go check out this video. That video walks you through the second draw application. This video covers the application for applicants that have not received a PPP loan before. So let's head over to the computer and take a look at the application. The main difference between the other application and this one is right here. So this one is called the Paycheck Protection Program Borrow Application Form. The other one had second draw in the title. And the number, I'm assuming, is different. So this form is just called SBA Form 2483. The other one has an SD at the end of the number, okay? So that's kind of the difference, so you know which form you need to fill out. All right, so check one of these boxes. So this first box has basically what type of business you have. Are you a sole proprietor, partnership, S or C corporation, or LLC? If you're an independent contractor, you'd select that one. If you're a self-employed individual, you would select that one. If you're a 501c3, 501c6, or 501c19, you're a tribal business, or if you're an other business. In this box here, you would select if your business has a DBA or a trade name, you would put that there. And then the years of establishment, if it's applicable. Your business legal name, and I believe this year of establishment is not applicable to sole proprietors. I'll double check that. Business legal name goes here, NAICS code. So in order for you to find this code, I pulled up, let's see, where is that form? So on your Schedule C, so if you're a sole proprietor, an independent contractor, single member LLC, and you file a Schedule C with your 1040, if you go to box 3, that is going to have this code. And I also pulled up the IRS instructions. So if you look here, it says the principal code or professional activity code. Down here, it says these 6-digit codes are based on the North American Industry Classification System, which is the NAICS code. So here are your codes. So that's a good reference if you need it. If you're getting value out of this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a big thumbs up. All right, and then it says here, so applicant, including affiliates, if applicable, meet size standards. So you're only gonna check one of these. All right, then you're gonna add your business address, your business TIN number, or EIN, or social security number if you're a sole proprietor or independent contractor, your business phone number, who the primary contact is, and then their email address. And then you're gonna put in your average monthly payroll cost here, so whatever the amount is. So you're gonna pull the amount for the year, you're gonna divide it by 12, and then that's going to be your average monthly payroll cost. So you're going to take that number, you're going to multiply it by 2.5, then you're going to add the EIDL. It says do not include any advance. So that will equal the loan requested amount. So you can put that there. Then you put the number of employees here, and then you're going to select the purpose of the loan funds. Now, if you want a breakdown of this, I cover that in this video where I talk about the PPP for first-time borrowers. Then we're gonna state who the owners are of the business that have at least 20% or more equity. And if there's more than 2, then you need to provide a separate sheet with the remaining owners. And then unlike the first time they did PPP, they have these questions. So they have 9 questions that you need to answer. The first one is the applicant or any owner of the applicant presently suspended, debarred, proposed for debarment, declared ineligible, voluntary, excluded from participation in the transaction by any federal department or agency or presently involved in any bankruptcy. So if any of these apply, you would select either yes or no. Has the applicant, any owner of the applicant, or any business owned or controlled by any of them ever obtained a direct or guaranteed loan from the SBA or other federal agency and is A, currently delinquent, or B, has defaulted within the last 7 years? So either yes or no. Is the applicant or any owner of the applicant an owner of any other business or have common management, including a management agreement with any other business? If yes, list all such businesses, including their TIN, if available, and describe the relationship on a separate sheet identified as Addendum A. So if this applies, then you need to create, I would just do it in Word, label it Addendum A, and then list the business and your relationship. Number 4, did the applicant receive an SBA economic injury disaster loan between January 31st, 2020 and April 3rd, 2020? If yes, provide details on a separate sheet identified as Addendum B. I'm curious to see if they're going to provide more information in the instructions about that. So I'm going to look at that real quick. Is the applicant, if an individual or an individual owning 20% or more of the equity of the applicants presently incarcerated or for any felony presently subject as an indictment, criminal information, arraignment, or any other means by which formal criminal charges are brought in any jurisdiction? So they want you to initial and then state yes or no. Number 6, within the last 5 years, for any felony involving fraud, bribery, embezzlement, or false statements in a loan application or any application for the federal financial assistance, or within the last year, for any other felony, has the applicant, if an individual or any owner of the applicant, 1, been convicted, 2, pleaded guilty, 3, pleaded nolo contendere, or 4, commenced any form of parole or probation, including probation before judgment? So you're going to initial and then state yes or no. Is the United States the principal place of residence for all employees included in the applicant's payroll calculation above? Yes or no. Is the applicant a franchise? Yes or no. And if it is, you need to list the SBA franchise identifier code, and then obviously that would be yes because you would have the code. Then you need to certify basically that all the information that you're providing is correct and within the law. All right, let's get into the instructions because I am curious about, what was I curious about? This one, Addendum B. Is that listed in the instructions? So it's funny. So number 4, they're saying, did you receive an economic injury disaster loan? And then if they want you to provide details, but they don't state what details they want. So I wonder if there's guidance on that. Because I just looked for it and I don't see it. All right, so I'm gonna look out for that. So you need to submit this form to participating lenders. And they have a list on SBA's website right here. So if you go to the sba.gov and you click on the Paycheck Protection Program, under how to apply, they have a list that you can download. And once it loads, come on. And it looks like it's by state, and you can find the participating banks. So instructions for completing the application. So with respects to the purpose of the loan, They talk about what consists of the payroll cost, which is the compensation to employees who their principal place of business is within the United States. And then it talks about the forms that it has to be salary, wages, commissions, or similar compensation. If you pay your employees tips, then you need to, and you do not have records, then you need to provide a good faith estimate. It includes vacation time, parental family leave, medical leave, sick leave, allowance for separation or dismissal, payments for the provision of employee benefits, health groups, disability, vision, dental, retirement, and then your local and state taxes on compensation of employees. If you're an independent contractor or a sole proprietor, it includes wages, commissions, income of net earnings from self-employment or similar compensation. And then how to compute the average monthly payroll. So for most applicants, you're going to be using 2019 or 2020 information. You're going to exclude cost over $100,000 on an annualized basis as prorated for the period during which the payments were made or the obligation to make payments is incurred for each employee. So for seasonal employees, the applicant must elect to instead use average total monthly payroll for a 12-week period selected by the applicant between February 15, 2019 and February 15, 2020, excluding costs over $100,000 on an annualized basis as prorated for the period during which the payments are made or the obligation to make the payment is incurred for each employee. For new businesses, average monthly payroll may be calculated by using the time period from January 1st, 2019 to February 29, 2020, excluding costs over $100,000 on an annualized basis as prorated for the period during which the payments are made or the obligation to make the payments is incurred for each employee. So we're seeing common requirements here. For farmers and ranchers that operate a sole proprietorship or an independent contractor or who are eligible for self-employed individuals and report farm income on expenses on Schedule F or any equivalent successor IRS form, payroll costs are computed using eligible payroll costs for employees, if any, plus the lesser of $100,000 and the difference between gross income and any eligible payroll costs for employees as reported on Schedule F. For applicants that file IRS Form 1040 Schedule C, payroll costs are computed using line 31, net profit amount limited to $100,000 plus any eligible payroll costs for employees. For applicants that are partnership, payroll costs are computed using net earnings from self-employment of individual general partners as reported on your 1065 K1, reduced by Section 179 expense deduction claimed, unreimbursed partnership expenses claimed, and depletion claimed on oil and gas properties, multiplied by 0.9235, that is no more than $100,000 plus any eligible payroll costs for employees. Whew. For purposes of reporting number of employees, sole proprietors, self-employed individuals, and independent contractors should include themselves. I'm glad they state that because that was questionable on the first round of PPP. As employees, minimum number in box number of employees is 1. So there you go. For purposes of reporting year of establishment, self-employed individuals are independent contractors. No, for purposes of year of establishment, if you're a self-employed individual and an independent contractor, you may enter NA. For purposes of reporting NAIC codes, applicants must match their business activity provided on the IRS income tax filing. So I showed you where to find that at the beginning of this video on your 1040 Schedule C. If applicant is refinancing, if you're refinancing an EIDL, add the outstanding amount of an EIDL. So if you are refinancing an EIDL, so the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, not the advance, the loan, add the outstanding amount of an EIDL made between January 31st, 2020 and April 3rd, 2020 to loan request as indicated on the form. Do not add the advance. So this is if you have an EIDL loan, then you need to take this time frame. So your outstanding amount from January 31st and April 3rd to your loan request. So you get to add in that amount to your loan request. All right. And then it lists out what is considered owners. So for sole proprietorships, the sole proprietor is the owner. For partnerships, all general partners that have at least 20% equity in the firm. For corporations, all owners of 20% or more of the corporation. For limited liability companies, all members owning 20% or more of the company. And any trustor if the applicant is owned by a trust. Then we get down into disclosures and regs that we don't really need to talk about. I mean, if you want to nerd out and check out what all of that is saying, go right ahead. But as far as this, my initial impression of this application is that it's very straightforward. Something that we're not used to seeing is the average monthly payroll costs, and then you get to add in the EIDL that I just talked about. So you can add that to your loan request amount. And then in the number of employees, you have to have at least a number 1 there. If you need more information about the purpose of the loan, so what each of these are, then go check out this video. I outline a slide that has all of this information listed. And that's it, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.